Hi, I'm Jessie Schut, and I have been part of the Nativity program at Comox Valley Presbyterian Church for years, and we want to talk to some people about their special sets and why those sets are special to them. And so my first guest is Lois Lupkoski, and she has brought this very interesting looking nativity set, which looks more like a carousel, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. So tell us, what is this called?
This is called a pyramid of light. You can see it has the pyramid effect going up and up into the top.
And you got it in Nuremberg, you
That's
said.
right. We were living in Prague, Czechoslovakia for 2 years, and at Christmas time there's very little Christmas spirit and decorations. So we decided to take our 2.5-year-old twins to Nuremberg, which we heard there was a very good Christkindl market, and we decided to buy this one. Mm-hmm. And it became very special to us.
So that was in 82, and that's why when Prague was behind the Iron Curtain, and that's why there was so little Christmas in Prague, right?
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct. So we had to travel to Germany to get the spirit of Christmas.
And so can you tell us what we see here?
Yes, on the middle rotating wheel there is the Holy Family with the shepherds and the lambs, and then at the bottom is the wise men, and up here is the angels with another shepherd, and at the top is the angels. Mm-hmm.
And this, what is this all about?
These are called paddles, and when we light the candles, which we'll do in a few minutes, they rotate, and that's what makes the characters go round.
Right. Okay, well, let's light these candles then.
Now, if we wait a few minutes, the heat will make the paddles go round.
And, there's something about candles that sort of gives you a moment of peace, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yes. I've heard you say sometimes they go so fast that you feel like the people are going to fall off the carousel.
That's for sure.
So what is your take on that?
Well, it kind of reminds me of when I organize or start planning too much in the Advent Christmas season. So I have to slow down the pace, just like I would slow these down and make them go a little slower by adjusting. So I would probably adjust my life and be in the moment.
Get some more balance into your life, right?
That's right.
Yes, Christmas is a busy time. And it's good to be able to slow down and think about the reason for it all. The babe in the manger, God's gift to the world. Is it quiet at your house when you light the candles?
Mm-hmm. The anticipation's very high.
Yeah, and now your grandchildren are enjoying this.
Yes, that's correct. Mm-hmm. See now, look, see how fast it's going now.
That's great. Thank you for telling us about this.
You're very welcome. It's my honor.
Heidi Hyser is here to share the story of her 2 sets. And Heidi's an avid cyclist. And how many bicycle trips have you taken?
Oh, quite a few. I don't know. I haven't counted. Sorry.
Some of them were pretty exotic, though. Mm-hmm. You were in you went in Africa, and you took a trip all the way from Canada down to the southern part of South America, and you also went to Mongolia. So tell us about them and why they're special.
Okay, so this set is from Mexico. I bought it in Mexico City while we were on our bicycle trip from Canada down to Tierra del Fuego in the southern South America. This, obviously you can see the weight and size is quite small, and it's something that's really important when you're on a bicycle trip so you can carry them along with you. This was a bit of luxury for me It was the second year in a row that we hadn't been able to spend Christmas with our family, and so we decided to try and make Christmas a little special. When we bought this set, or I bought this set, and we set up a little tree behind it in our hostel room and put out the little pieces as our Christmas celebration. We decorated the tree with pieces of paper and tinfoil that we found too. So we were able to celebrate Christmas in Guatemala City. That's where, as far as we got that before Christmas. And I carried it for many more months with me for the down through South America, and occasionally took it out for a little bit of support and to admire the beauty of it and what it all meant to me. The other nativity is in the gur. This is from Mongolia. This is a Mongolian gur, and it's the typical house of the nomads. And while we were biking in the steppes of Mongolia, we were treated to amazing hospitality of the people. They would invite us into their gurs and share food and mare's milk with us. And it was especially beautiful that the people who have so little were willing to share things with strangers. And when I got to Ulaanbaatar, which is the capital of Mongolia, I decided that it would be important to have something to remind me of lovely people of Mongolia. So I bought the nativity scene. So we have our little shepherd here and his little sheep, which is very typical, and their little finger puppets, you can see. And it's a little child's game or play. And this is Joseph and Mary. And the little baby is quite small. The shepherd with his sheep. And then, of course, the three kings as they arrive on their camels. And it's a two-humped camel, which is the typical camel of the Mongolian area. Oops. And this scene, or this set, was bought at a fair trade store called Mary and Martha, where nomadic Mongolian women make these to supplement their income for their families. And this is especially important for me because it shows how the people who have so little it reminds me that they were willing to share with me as a stranger and very gracious in their hospitality.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Heidi. That was great.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Hi, my name's Hope Savard, and I've been collecting nativity scenes since I was 2. This is my first nativity scene, and this one's probably my favorite. At my house, we have a tradition where we don't put baby Jesus in the nativity scenes until it's Christmas Eve.
This is my husband, Al Schut, and he has a hobby of wood carving. He's made creches for each of our 4 children. And the set that he's going to talk about today is the one that he did for our daughter Danielle. So how is this set different from the other sets that you have done?
Well, like you said, I've done 4 sets. The first 3 were all done from patterns. They were all copied from patterns. And this one I decided to go out on my own and design one totally different. What if Mary and Joseph lived in our time, in our society? I thought they would be very poor people. Mm-hmm. And they might even live in an alley. And
Mary might have even given birth in an alley.
Right. And that's why the actual manger there is a banana box.
Right. I see the bananas on there. This is Mary. And this is Joseph. Actually, Joseph is interesting because he's got a peace sign and he's wearing blue jeans and he's got his cap on backwards.
The whole idea is to try to get away from the standard approach of sheep and camels and donkeys and
Kings.
And so I thought about the shepherds and the wise people of this day and age, and
the ones that help people grow spiritually.
Yeah.
Right.
And I looked at it and said, yeah, I could probably do some of these. So many of these pieces are actually done from photographs. We've got the Dalai Lama here, and Mother Teresa, and there is Desmond Tutu and Mahatma Gandhi.
These are all people from around the world.
They're from all over the world, yes.
And they are showing God's love to the world as well. So are you finished with this set?
No, I may never be, because you can add pieces ad infinitum pretty well. I will probably keep adding pieces as I have time. Yeah, right now I am working on the Pope Francis, and that should be done sometime within the next year.
He looks a lot bigger than the other figures, but when you're finished with him, he'll be the same size, right?
Yeah. He's about the same size as the Dalai Lama, but because of the bishop's mitre, the top of his head is about right here. So he's a bit taller based on Wikipedia.
You could also add ordinary people who are showing
Yes.
God's love in the world.
Or famous people from the past, like St. Francis.
Right. He was the one that started the Nativity.
Yes.
That's
so
right.
This scene takes place in an alley. So while this is not yet painted, it is carved and ready to be painted. This is basically, there's a door here and a window here, and if you can tell, there's
Patches on the walls.
patches on the wall with brick showing through or just parging. And the intent is to make a more diverse alley scene, including burn barrels, a burn barrel, and
Some garbage cans, maybe.
garbage can or two, and probably the other thing I would like to see is a working street light to throw some light on the whole thing. And the other touches I did here was our daughter has a little dog, and there's a mini schnauzer, and that's her there. And I put the crow in because crows are everywhere, especially in alleys.
They're very adaptable and going all the way around the world,
Yeah.
too. When you displayed this set at some of our other nativity events, you got a lot of comments and questions about what you were trying to do. It really makes people think, I wonder what would have happened if Jesus had been born today. Thanks for sharing this with us.
You're welcome.